Welcome to another Auto Express track battle, this one between the Porsche Cayenne Turbo and the blistering new Range Rover Sport SVR, where we'll be finding out which one is fastest around the challenging circuit of Croft in North Yorkshire.
One of the key things that the Cayenne Turbo has at its disposal, of course, is a thumping great twin-turbo 4.8 litre V8 with 514 horsepower and a monumental amount of torque, quite a bit more torque than even in the Range Rover. It's also got an 8-speed dual clutch gearbox. That makes quite a difference on a track. The Range Rover has an 8-speed gearbox as well, but it's not a dual clutch, so it's not going to be just as snappy. And it weighs a couple of 100 kilograms less than the Range Rover, so that's key, you know. Right, out of the last corner, which is the hairpin. Gearbox just picks ratios off like that. Right, we begin our timed lap now. Flipping heck. It feels so fast into this first corner. It feels as if you could really come unstuck very rapidly into there. I've got everything turned off because it's definitely quickest. Just the agility this thing has. For something that weighed, what, 2.2 tons maybe with me in it, it's just mental how fast it is in a straight line. And how it responds when you kind of pile it into a corner and ask it to change direction properly. That's the really freaky bit when you're driving this thing. It's quite nice when it slides too. It kind of does that in a four-wheel drift, which is great because you know where both ends are. That's a pretty scenic bit of track through there, I have to admit. So is it through here. I mean, that is madly fast. This one's got the optional ceramic brakes, so it really stops beautifully. You know just where the front end is, so that you can stick the front tyres straight into the middle of puddles like that, pile up to a corner like this, and it just stops. It shouldn't stop this fast, this car, considering how much it weighs, but it does. I mean, how could you not like this thing? Let's see what the time ends up being. Short shift out of there because it felt like it was just about to light its tyres up. That is the lap time to beat. Blimey. 1 minute 41 seconds around Croft. That's really fast.
The Cayenne Turbo really is the car to beat in this segment. Question is, can the new Range Rover get anywhere near that time?
I'm not convinced. I mean, it's a heck of a piece of kit, the new Range Rover. They reckon it's a good 20% sharper, faster, nimbler than the existing Range Rover Sport, which is saying something actually, but when you do the maths and you look at the figures, I'm not sure the Range Rover can do it. Okay, it's got 542 horsepower, so it's more powerful than the Porsche, but it weighs at least 2.4 tons with me in it. It doesn't have as much torque as the Porsche by about 50 pounds-feet. It doesn't have as sharp a gearbox as the Porsche. So I don't know, it's going to be really close. Okay, so up to the last corner to start the lap. Good traction, good traction. The gearbox works nicely, not just as well as the Porsche. I think it's just as quick as the Porsche in a straight line. But, oh goodness me, into that corner, there's more understeer than there was in the Porsche. It just feels like there is just more more vehicle to try and maintain control of, and it's doing something quite weird through there. It's kind of corkscrewing, and then it's trying to kill me. It doesn't like that at all. I had a big oversteer moment there where the DSC just went, "What are you doing?" and just threw all its toys out of the pram. It does stop pretty well though for a big barge, and it does turn in well, so long as you can just stay off the mud. Okay, through the S's. What are you like through? Oh, there's just a lot of car to maintain control of. It doesn't feel anywhere near as good as the Porsche through there. Oh, I'm having to go across the grass there. That was almost out of control. It's feeling pretty exciting, but I mean very quick. But it just hasn't got the grip. It just hasn't got the ultimate composure of the Porsche. When you really start to chuck it about, the front end doesn't feel anywhere near as nailed. You just got to wait. I want first out of here, definitely. Oh, gently. No, I don't think this is anywhere near as quick as the Porsche. It's a whole heap of fun, I'll grant you that.
In the end then, the Range Rover SVR is fast, but not quite fast enough to deal with the seismic event that is the Porsche Cayenne Turbo. Does that really mean anything out there in the real world? And does it prevent the Range Rover from being anything other than a great new car? Not really, no. But on the other hand, you can't argue with the numbers. And in this case, those numbers add up to one very simple result. The Porsche wins by 2.5 seconds. That's some margin. But then the Cayenne Turbo